Hello friend, Henry Flowers here with Protecting Black Life, The Pivot of Civilization by Margaret Sanger. Throughout the 200 pages of this book, Sanger called for, now listen, the elimination of human weeds, for the cessation of charity, for the segregation of morons, misfits, and maladjusted, and for the sterilization of genetically inferior races. And she called for coercive sterilization, mandatory segregation, and rehabilitation concentration camps for all inferior blacks, Hispanics, poor whites, and Catholics. So with this information coming out in Margaret Sanger's own words, in her own book, The Pivot of Civilization by Margaret Sanger, you'd really be hard-pressed to convince me that Margaret Sanger was not a racist. So here's why this is significant. If Planned Parenthood was founded by Margaret Sanger, and it's funny how people continue to receive these Margaret Sanger awards and praise Margaret Sanger for her vision. If Planned Parenthood was founded by Margaret Sanger, are they still perpetuating her vision? Because in her own words, she says she wants to eliminate human weeds. And she's an equal opportunity eliminator, because she didn't care whether you were black, white, and Catholic, just all of these things that she gets to decide that causes you to be unfit for society. So you'd be hard-pressed to convince me that that's not racism and that's not horrible. But some of you would say, well, Planned Parenthood, they have denounced Margaret Sanger. Well, yeah, sort of, no, they haven't. On a very, very small level, some of their lower lieutenants have said, we don't support the vision of Margaret Sanger. But as a whole, Planned Parenthood as an organization has not been outspoken against Margaret Sanger and her ideals. So here's why it matters to you, and here's what it has to do with Planned Parenthood. You've got to be willing to ask yourself, are they our friends or are they our enemy? In the black culture, why are they putting so many of their abortion mills in the black community? Well, they would say that there's there's a greater need. Now, it's funny because black women are only 13% of the society. How is that a greater need with such a small portion of the society? Second question is, are you, as Planned Parenthood, doing anything to create the need? We'll talk about that more later on. And we'll talk about how the 2014 census says that in order to replace the current population, you need to be at a birth rate of 2.1. And according to that same census, the black population is at a birth rate of 1.9. See, these are the things that we talk about as we build a conversation, so I can show you that Planned Parenthood is not the friend that we suppose they are, and with friends like that, who needs enemies?